Hey yo, what's up and welcome. I'm the one and only West Coast King, and welcome to a brand new series, something I've always kind of wanted to do. And then someone brought it up in the comments of a different video maybe a month ago, and it kind of rekindled the idea for me, and that is I want to build a superstar team in MLS. Well, at least we're going to start in the MLS for this first series, and then we might move on and do superstar teams in other leagues as well, maybe to Liga MX, maybe even go across to Europe to some of the smaller leagues over there, try to build a contender over there for maybe the Champions League or something like that. But for now, we're going to be starting out at home on US soil in MLS. Now, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, the series name is Galacticos because I want to build Galacticos teams in each of these leagues, but I think that's also kind of relative. I don't think to have a Galacticos team in MLS, for instance, because that's where we're starting, you don't need Neymar and Bale and Modric and James and all of these ridiculous world superstar players. I think relative to the league, I think for MLS, probably a team of all 80+ rated players, at least the starting 11, all 80+ rated, would be sufficient to be a Galacticos team. And obviously, I want to sprinkle in a few superstars where I can. So I think for this first one, an all 80+ rated starting 11 with at least two 85+ rated players in there would be sufficient. And obviously, I've never done a series like this, especially in MLS. If you've ever seen one of my MLS career modes, you know I have very stringent transfer rules that I abide by to avoid creating a team like this, because that would take the whole competition out of it and it would just be pointless to do a series like that. But I obviously want to see what would happen if I could do that. So I don't know how many seasons this is going to go. I'm thinking maybe 5 seasons to have a really good team. Obviously, I can't buy players in their prime. I can't pay the transfer budget for them. The really good players that I'm going to try to get are going to be on pre-contracts. I can buy some of the other players that have decent potential, and I'll have to train them up a bit, and that's why it might take a few extra years. So I don't know how long this is going to go for. I'm shooting for 5-season limit, but if we aren't there in 5 seasons, we might take it to 6 seasons. I don't think we'll go farther than that, though. I don't think it would take longer than that. Now, how this series is going to work, at least for what you guys are going to see, is I think I'm going to go for each season in-game, it's going to be 1 episode. And also, gameplay-wise, not actually going to be playing any games. It's all going to be simulated, unless maybe I make a cup final or the MLS Cup final or something like that. Then I might play a game here or there just so there's some gameplay in each episode, and we can kind of judge and see how the team is coming along. So that is how this whole thing is going to work. And without further ado, let's get this thing going. So the team that I've selected to go with for this first Galacticos series, it makes a lot of sense actually when you think about it. It's the LA Galaxy, the LA Galacticos, if you will. They have the highest transfer budget in MLS. It's right around $30 million. They usually bring in superstar players anyway. For instance, we have Zlatan up top. He won't be there when the series is concluded, just because, again, we're probably going to go at least 5 seasons. He's 35 years old. He probably won't even be playing at that point, though we do have him on a 4-year contract, so maybe he will be. I don't know. If he is, he'll probably be on the bench, although I'm thinking I'm probably going to sell him anyway. I'm going to need the money. So, yeah, this is the team that we have right now. It's not bad, actually, especially the attacking front 3 and the midfield. It's all really good. The defense is shocking. I think that'd be the word I'd go with there. It's really not good. Very bad, actually. So yeah, I mean, even if I was to take this team on and do a normal MLS career, that defense would have to go. And the thing about this is, I can't just go through and sell the whole team, because I do have high expectations at LA Galaxy. I'm supposed to make the MLS Cup final this season. I don't even know if this team can do it, so I'm really gonna have to build around what I have and swap parts as I go through. Now, we can have a look at who we are going to be able to sell. I think Ashley Cole has to be a prime target to sell on. He only has 11 months left on his contract. He might leave for free as it is, so I don't know if we'll even be able to sell him. João Pedro, I don't particularly like, though he does have 70+ potential. I might re-sign him. Husidic, I could care less. He can go. Boateng, whoo! If you've ever seen one of my MLS career modes, this dude terrorizes me. I kind of want to hang on to him, but at the same time, I know I got to free up space where I can. Bradford Jamieson has good potential. I might hang on to him as well, just as a bench player here. And then we get into other players that I could potentially sell on. Although, I don't know if I really want to be doing much selling in this first season. On top of that, we can't even sell anyone for the first 5 months anyway because we're starting in MLS. We started in February. Our first transfer window isn't even until July. So even though we're not in a transfer window yet, I was able to handle our first bit of business here, and it's selling off Ashley Cole. He's back to England, to Bolton for $260,000. Not too bad. Also took part in a preseason tournament this year, and we didn't make it even to the final, but the money we brought in was enough to help pay for our youth academy, which I do have to do a small youth academy for this just to meet the expectations of the board. I think we have to make a certain amount of profit on youth academy players, so even the players I bring into the youth academy most likely will be sold off anyway. But if not, if they stay in the team, they won't be in the starting 11. That's not what this series is about. I might keep them for depth on the team, but I will build our starting 11 from the outside, bringing players in. And while we work through these 5 months of dead time that we had before the first transfer window, we can start to scout out some of the players and kind of lay the foundation for what we want to do with this team. I do want to try to buy at least 1 or 2 players in the transfer window and bring them in immediately to help this team, to help them be competitive right now. I think we definitely need at least 1 or 2 players right now anyway. So I think one of them definitely needs to be a defender. We sold Ashley Cole, so I think I want to go for like a left back here. And like I said, they're not all going to be superstar players, but they're going to be good players nonetheless. So I'm thinking maybe like a... I'm trying to figure out, remember people who have expiring contracts in season 1. I think like Leo Dubois, is that how you say his name? I'm pretty sure it is. Pretty sure he has an expiring contract. He does. He's 22. We might be able to get him on the cheap. Let's scout him up and send him to the short list. Something else that we could do is potentially look inside of the MLS. There are some decent players with 80+ potential, especially a couple of Americans. I don't know if I want to go for maybe Zach Steffen at goalkeeper. It's an option for sure, and we definitely do need a goalkeeper. Or if I want to go for a bigger name goalkeeper, I'm not 100% sure on that one yet, but there is possibly maybe Tyler Adams we could get for the midfield, a defensive midfielder that could help this team. That could be a pretty big acquisition for us. So let's go for him as well. And then also maybe not just Tyler Adams, but maybe Weston McKennie. They're the exact same age. They're both 18 years old. They're almost the same rating right now. I think they both start around 70 overall and have like mid-80s potential. So decent American players. I might try to sprinkle in Americans every once in a while, but these two specifically definitely fit our needs. But we got to remember, the whole point of this series is to kind of dream big. So who are some big name targets we could go after? Keeping in mind, we're going to be going at least, I would think at least 5 seasons into this thing. So they can't be 28, 29. They're going to start to decline in season 4 and 5 at that point. So they need to be kind of young, and they have to be on expiring contracts for us to get them on a free transfer. So I know for sure that Leon Goretzka is going to be on an expiring contract in this season. He's 22. Hopefully he'll get to 23 before the transfer window, or during the transfer window. That way we can try to sign him on a free transfer. So that would be a huge player to get for this team. So I don't know if there's really anyone else, a big name player that we could add maybe in this upcoming transfer window. So let's try to go back to more towards the realm of realism here. We do need more defenders, and I know that Diego Reyes is on an expiring contract coming from Porto. I know he just signed somewhere in real life. I don't remember where, but those wages are a little bit more reasonable for MLS, $14,000. I might even be able to pay the transfer fee on him. I might actually go after him, like, now. That would be a huge player to get this season. That would definitely help us right now. Now, we're only a couple of games into the season, and by the way, we're 2 games in. We've won them both, so we're off to a good start. But Zlatan is already on the decline. He's already down 1 in his overall. And I didn't want to sell him in season 1 because, again, we do have to be competitive every single year with LA Galaxy. But at the same time, I see a massive paycheck right there. Probably $20 million worth that we could bring in to help this team. I don't know. We don't have to make the decision yet. Like, we're still 3.5 months, I think, away from the transfer window. But if he keeps declining and he's 35 years old, he probably will. We might have to sell him in this first transfer window, which is going to be slightly problematic. So I did mention that we are kind of building a youth academy, mostly for the objectives that we have to complete. But our first signing to the youth academy is Wayne Taylor, goalkeeper, 6'2", and he looks like an absolute freaking stud. He's already 62 rated, and he just signed him. and he has 77 to 94 potential. Again, I didn't go into this planning on using Youth Academy players in our side, but maybe we allow one Youth Academy player in our Galacticos team. I don't know. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on that in the comments below. Do we use at least one Youth Academy player or allow one? We don't have to, but if we say allow one if we wanted to, because I'm thinking Wayne Taylor, if he hits anywhere near that 90 potential, that would definitely fit a Galacticos team. So we are now through the first 2 months of the season, and we're off to, I would say, a blistering start. We started off in March. We beat Dallas in the first game of the season 2-1 at home. Then we moved on and played Portland. We beat them 3-0 at home. And then we finished off March with a 1-1 draw away at RSL, which is actually not that bad. RSL is currently in second place in the Western Conference. Then we move on to April. We start off with Vancouver, a 3-2 win away there, and then a 2-1 win at home against Montreal. Then we moved on to play Orlando on the road, a draw 1-1. Not too bad having to go all the way cross country to play that one. Then we had our first domestic cup match of the season. We beat Colorado 2-1 there. That's nice. I want to make a decent cup run, at least I would say every year. This team definitely should be making cup runs. Then we moved on to play Seattle. They're currently in first place in the Western Conference, and then we drew 2-2 at home. I was a little disappointed in that. They were without Rui Diaz, their star striker. He's out hurt. Thought we should have won that game. And then we took our first loss of the season, a 2-1 loss at home to Philadelphia. That was even worse. We definitely should have lost that one. And here is what the Western Conference is looking like. I misspoke. I said RSL was in second place. Sporting Kansas City's in second place, so never mind that. But Seattle is in first right now on 16 points after 8 games played. We're only 1 point off the pace. That's not too bad. Our goal scoring is looking good. We're top of the Western Conference, joint with Seattle with 15 goals scored. Defense, not too bad either. I think that's second best, 10 goals allowed. So we're looking good all the way around. That defense is holding up a little bit better than I was thinking it was going to. I'm training it up. I'm trying to get it better, and it's seeming to work. So we're looking good so far through season 1. So the results are in for the next 2 months, the months of May and June. So let's go through those real quick. We're coming off that loss at the end of April against Philadelphia. We go back, or we stay at home. We get a good bounce back win there, 3-1 against Chicago. Then we go on the road to face New York. It's a tough place to go and play. We lose 2-1. Not too disappointed in that one. We stay on the road to face Minnesota the next week. We get a 2-1 win, another good bounce back win there as well. So both of the losses we've taken so far, we've bounced back and won the next game, which I like to see. We finish off the month of May with the Cali Classico against San Jose and a big 3-1 result on the road in that one. Moving on to the month of June, we start off away at DC United, a 1-1 draw. Thought we could have maybe got something more out of that, but at least it's a point on the road. Then we come back home, we get a 2-2 draw against Houston. Definitely thought we should have got more out of that one. Then we go on the road, we beat Colorado, and we finish off the month of May at home. 2-0 result over Sporting Kansas City is absolutely massive because Sporting Kansas City is in first place right now. 5 points clear of us, but they've played 2 more matches. But that win we got against them was really, really massive. They've actually lost 5 games this year. We've only lost 2. We're one of the better defensive teams, top goal scoring team in the Western Conference. Just kind of picking up a couple of tough draws here and there that we should be winning. But other than that, I'm kind of impressed. LA Galaxy, not usually that good in season 1, to be in second place heading into the July transfer window, pretty impressive. So now we get into the real meat and potatoes of this thing. The transfer window is here, and we can start trying to get some players into the club. And I've been thinking about this. It's going to be a delicate balance. I've added a couple of names to the short list here, Ben Woodburn and Patrick Cutrone. I'm not sure how we want to go about this, because I know a lot of people would love to see Ben Woodburn. Every career mode, there's at least a couple of you that say get Ben Woodburn. This would be a good series to get him in, but I can't get too many players like Ben Woodburn that are kind of mid-60s, low to mid-60s rated, have really, really good potential, but I'm gonna need to train the crap out of them to get them up to where we need them to be a part of that Galacticos team in the end. I only have so many training slots to spend and only so many players I can train at one time. So I can't get too many players like that, but Ben Woodburn might not be a bad one to go after. Whereas a player like Patrick Cutrone is already mid-70s. He'll get up to 80+ rated on his own. He has huge potential as well, high 80s. So we need more players like that, and we have to kind of limit how many we get. While Ben Woodburn would be very cheap, he's only 1.4 million in his value. I can't get too many like that. So let's get in here and let's start trying to get some players into the team, and we'll see how this thing goes. So the first player that I'm going to go after is going to be the defender, Diego Reyes. He doesn't have the greatest potential. It's low 80s, but it's going to be important to get some of these players on a little bit better deal, a little bit cheaper, because some of the players we're thinking about going after later are going to be very, very expensive. So if we can limit the wages early on, that'll be helpful a lot in the future. So let's go for Diego Reyes. You can see he's already on $14,000 wages. That's very, very helpful for us. Let's see what we can do here. 4-year contract. I like that. What else do we have here? I don't want to do a release clause. Hopefully they don't either. Very nice. And we'll go for... let's go $17,000 in wages. And then we'll go for 150K bonus. Hopefully that's good. I'm thinking, yeah, well, let's see what that says. Let's see what he says about that. That's a good starting point. Let's see what he comes back with. He wants only 14. He doesn't want a raise in his wages at all. He just wants a bigger bonus. Well, let's counter the bonus a little bit. I'll just go 450K bonus, and let's get rid of the appearance. I don't like that appearance bonus at all. Let's see what they say about that. It's a nice negotiation we got going on here, and that's a good deal. That's a perfect deal. 14K in wages for Diego Reyes. We won't get him till the end of the season. We won't get him till next season, that is, but that's a good start for our team. And continuing along with that defensive idea, we're gonna try to go after Leo Dubois here. He is only 22 years old. That means we have to offer a transfer fee for him. We can't get him on a pre-contract for next season, which is fine. I'd rather have him right now anyway to bolster that left back spot because we lost Ashley Cole. So I definitely think it's important to get somebody in right now, and Dubois is a great player. 77 overall. He'll get to 80 plus all by himself, no problem at all. So it's gonna have to be a decent transfer fee. We have $30 million in the transfer budget, though. I'm not really too worried about that, although I also don't want to overpay for him. And considering he's on an expiring contract, let's go 13. Let's go 13.5. Let's see what they say about that one. I think that might be a little bit low, but we'll see what they come back for. That's actually, wow. I might have actually overpaid. I'm comfortable with $13.5 million, though. I think we got a really good deal for a very good defender. So now all we have to do is work out a contract with Leo Dubois, and again, this is where things get tricky. He's the same rating as Diego Reyes, but he's already making $24,000 per week in France. So he's going to be a little bit more expensive. Let's go like 27, and we'll go like let's just go $400,000 bonus as well, and see what he says. I'm hoping to avoid that whole appearance bonus that they like to go with. Again, I think I might have overpaid that one. That one hurts a little bit. I think I screwed that one up, but that's okay. We have a very, very good defender in right now to add to this team. We have a couple of offers in for some of our players now. The first one is for Daniel Steres. I don't actually want to sell him right now. I like him for depth on this team, but the other one is for Giovanni Dos Santos. This one is tricky because it's $13.5 million from Sassuolo. That's a good chunk of change. But my goal in this transfer window, ultimately, I would love to get Patrick Cutrone in this transfer window. He's a really good player. I think he'd be the future striker of this team. Huge potential. That's one of those superstars that we're talking about getting. But he doesn't play where Dos Santos plays in this team. He plays where Zlatan plays. So ultimately, I really need to sell Zlatan, not Gio Dos Santos. Dos Santos is 28. I think his value is going to hold for a couple of years. I don't need to sell him right now, so because I don't have a replacement for him, and I'm not looking to get one in this transfer window, I'm not going to do this transfer offer. That might come back to bite me. That was a really good offer for Dos Santos, but I think we could get that same offer a year or two down the road. So we're into the last week of the transfer window now. I've just kind of been waiting and seeing if I got any offers in for more of our players, especially I'm looking for one for Zlatan. I don't think it's going to happen, especially since Zlatan now is dealing with a pulled quad. It's pretty much the rest of the transfer window. I don't think anyone's going to come in for him. So I think that kind of puts our hopes of Patrick Cutrone in this transfer window out of reach. We can't afford him without selling someone big. So unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Also, Leon Goretzka isn't 23 yet, so I can't get him on a pre-contract. Ben Woodburn just joined Liverpool. I was never going to be able to get him in this transfer window anyway. So that's kind of... our transfer window is not exactly going according to plan. It started off really well, but now it's kind of hit a bit of a snag. So I've added a couple more names to the transfer list. Let's focus on the winger position here. I have Alphonso Davies, again, playing in MLS. Definitely a cheap option to get in right now. And then I also have Justin Kluivert. Now, Davies is cheaper, and he has a little bit higher potential, I think, than Kluivert, but the Kluivert name means a little bit more, and I think it just fits better in a Galacticos team. Definitely more expensive. He's the better player right now, but I want to see if I can get Kluivert first. If I can't, then we'll go for Alphonso Davies. All right, so the negotiations actually didn't go too badly. I can get Kluivert for $15.2 million. I can swing that deal. I still have a lot of money in the wage budget that I can move around if I need to do that. Unfortunately, I was actually trying to do a swap deal to send Zlatan back to Ajax, but they wanted a left winger in return. I wish I could have offered them Ola Kamara, who plays left wing for us, but technically he's a striker that can also play left wing, and that doesn't count. So we'll have to pay the transfer fee, $15.2 million. I think this one's worth it. I just like the Kluivert name in our Galacticos team. I love Alphonso Davies, but I just like Justin Kluivert a little bit more. The contract actually wasn't too difficult to work out as well. He only wants 13K per week in wages. I love getting players from smaller leagues. Even though the Netherlands, I mean, Eredivisie isn't the smallest league, but it's a lot cheaper than the Premier League, let's put it that way. So 13K in wages. I don't like really that bonus. I want to try to get rid of that bonus once again. It's 350,000 for 15 goals. That's a lot. Let's see if I boost it up to that and then remove that. Will that work? That might still be a little bit too low. That'll work. Okay, Justin Kluivert is in the team, and actually we're getting him right now. We don't even have to wait till the end of the season. And with 3 hours left on deadline day, Leicester City pull the snake move and pay Giovanni Dos Santos his release clause of $15.7 million. That leaves me next to no time. Right now in my transfer budget, I have next to no money. So even if I get whatever, probably 12 to 13 million back into my budget, it's not a whole lot to do anything with. But on one hand, Giovanni Dos Santos hasn't played well since he got to LA anyway. I'm going to sell him eventually. It's a good fee. On the other hand, I just don't have a replacement ready for him. Although, actually, I might have a plan. Hopefully, if this happens, I'm going to let this go. If this happens, hopefully it happens quickly, and I have enough time to buy one more player in this window. And with 2 hours left, Giovanni Dos Santos is still here, but Crystal Palace now has paid his release clause as well. I just, hopefully he just goes. And it has to go, like, right this very second. Otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen. All right, well, deadline day has come and gone. As you can see, Giovanni's transfer talks broke down with both Crystal Palace and Leicester City. So he'll stay at the club. Actually, a little disappointed now. I had a grand scheme in place, but that will never come to fruition. But in other news, Zlatan picked up another freaking injury. He isn't even back from his first injury yet. How can he pick up another injury? I guess that's not that bad, because we do have a log jam at striker. I was unable to move Ola Kamara or Zlatan, so at least with Zlatan out, I don't have to worry about that. So after a fairly eventful end to the transfer window, we can go ahead and take a look at our fixtures for the month of July and August and how we did there. Let's just go ahead and say, not the best 2-month stretch for us as far as our results go. So we start off with the Cali Classico, lost to San Jose away. Then we came back and we won against RSL, so that was at least another good. Again, bounce back wins have kind of been the theme of our team so far this season. Then we went ahead and lost to Vancouver. Not good there. And then we came back, bounced back, and won against New England. That'd be our last win for July or August. We didn't win again after that. Like I said, not a good stretch for us. We went on, we came back home, we drew with Seattle for the second time this season at StubHub. We got knocked out of the US Open Cup on penalties by Orlando. Very, very disappointed in that one. I thought we should have moved on there. Then we drew 2-2 with Portland, lost 2-0 to NYCFC, lost 1-0 to Colorado, got a 1-1 draw on the road against Atlanta. That one surprised the hell out of me. I was very impressed by that. I didn't think we were going to get a result from that. Then we drew 1-1 with Columbus, and we finish off with another Cali Classico, this time a draw 2-2 with San Jose. So, Yeah, a lot of drop points in these last couple of months. And those disappointing results have now left us in 3rd place. We started to close the gap against Sporting. I think we got to within 2 or 3 points, and then it kind of went downhill again. And dropping points to Seattle has cost us. They've leapfrogged us into 2nd place. We're 7 points back of Sporting. We have no games in hand. At this point, we're just fighting for a playoff spot. I don't think a supporter shield's in the cards this season. Fair enough. I think we'll get one eventually, or 2 or 3. But yeah, this season, we just really have to focus on getting into the playoffs because we have to make a decent playoff run. And I'll go ahead and show you what the squad is looking like as well after that transfer window where we brought in a couple of players. It wasn't too bad. We do have Kluivert on the left now. He's 77 rated, looking pretty decent. Ola Kamara's up top because of Zlatan's injuries. I'm not sure how I'm going to work that when Zlatan comes back, but we have plenty of options up top for this team. Alessandrini still over there on the right as well. The Dos Santos brothers still going strong in the midfield alongside Perry Kitchen. And the defense looks a lot better than when we started the season. We have Skelvik on the left. He started the season as a center back, but he has 94 sprint speed and can play left back. I thought, why the hell not? Let's just put him over there, and he's done pretty well. Romney and Hilliard Arce have developed into pretty decent center back options for us. And then Dubois is on the right-hand side. And then I've gone ahead and called up that young goalkeeper, Wayne Taylor. He's 69 rated. He's better than David Bingham. And Bingham's in horrific form right now. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call him up. He hasn't played yet, but he's going to probably get the rest of the season to prove that he can be the goalkeeper. Again, maybe of the future, maybe for the Galacticos team, but at least until I bring in a Galacticos goalkeeper at some point. And here is how the final 2 months played out with a playoff spot on the line. Did our team step up and get the job done here? We start off with a game at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. This is the first game that young goalkeeper Wayne Taylor was in the starting 11. Fair enough. We lost 2-1. That's a very difficult place to go and play against a team that was contending for the supporter shield. So it is what it is. We took the L there. No big deal. But then business picked up. I was really hoping we'd go on a run before the playoffs, and we came through. 2-0 victory against Toronto. And then at Children's Mercy Park in Sporting Kansas City, first place Sporting Kansas City, we go in and get the 2-1 victory there. And then on the road in Houston, another 2-1 victory. And then a clean sheet against RSL at home. Final 2 games of the season, clean sheet against Minnesota, clean sheet against Dallas. Wayne Taylor has had an absolute blistering end to the regular season. We finish on 6 straight victories, and we are in the playoffs. And that was the good news. The bad news is we have to play Seattle in the quarterfinal, and we haven't beaten them this season. We have 2 draws at StubHub and a loss at CenturyLink Field. That's not a good matchup for us at all whatsoever. And because it's now the playoffs and these simulations mean a little bit more, I'll go ahead and do this style of simulation. Normally, I just go into the calendar and skip the game altogether. I don't actually care, but these ones are more important. So, first leg at CenturyLink Field. This is a big one. Zlatan is also back. He's been back for the last 2 games, I think. So, he's good to go. The team is looking good. We're playing well. Let's see how we do here. We are dealing with 1 suspension. Hilliard Arce is suspended, so Chiani is going to have to go. Oh my god, Rui Diaz already scored. Come on, boys. We have to at least... Our goal for the season is to make the final. Giovanni Dos Santos is injured. This is not going well. Dubois. Okay. There's an equalizer from an unlikely suspect. And then Sebastian Lletget, who is demanding a trade, by the way, because he's pissed off he's not playing, comes in and scores a goal as well. And Jordan Morris equalizes. Fair enough. Come on, boys. Just hang on. 2-2. That is perfectly fine. We come away with 2 away goals and a draw. I'll take that. And now for the bad news. That injury to Gio is actually 8 weeks with a torn quad. He's done for the playoffs. That's actually really bad. He was in really good form. He was player of the month for the month of October. And now he's gone for the rest of the playoffs. That's actually quite a hole to fill in the middle of the pitch for us. Then again, due to our versatility, I think we're going to actually be able to overcome this. So, Dos Santos is going to be out. We're going to bring in... No, not Bradford. Why did I bring in Bradford Jameson? That's not what I wanted to do. Ola Kamara. We're going to put Alessandrini at cam because he can play there. Kamara can play left wing. That's where he's been playing all year until we got Kluivert. Kluivert will shift over to the right. And actually, we don't really lose all that much. So I'm not too upset about that, but it sucks to lose a player that's in really good form. So now for the second leg, we are back home at StubHub. Still yet to beat this Seattle team this season in 4 tries. Let's see if we can finally do it. Zlatan misses a penalty in the 5th minute. That is definitely not what we're looking for. But Romney comes in with a goal. A second game in a row where a defender has scored. I will absolutely take it. I don't care. Anyone, I don't care who scores. There we go. Kluivert scores the second. Victor Rodriguez scores 1. Please don't do this. Just finish the game, boys. See this thing out. 3-1. There it is. We finally beat. It took us 5 tries to beat Seattle this season, but we finally did it. And we're through to the semifinal. Now, in the semifinal here, I thought we'd be facing Sporting Kansas City. Nope, guess not. It's going to be RSL, which kind of bodes well for us. We've been good against them this year. I don't think we've lost again. I think we've won actually both games we've played against them. So we're going to go with the exact same team in there to start off this first leg. In Sandy, Utah, João Plata gets them on the board first, but Zlatan equalizes 10 minutes later. There we go. Come on, boys. I just feel like this team is destined to win the title this season. I really, really do, which is not a bad start for our first year. I plan on winning many titles in this series. Hopefully, this will be title number 1. And I'm fine taking another draw. Wow. 2 goals in the 88th minute. That scared the bejesus out of me. But we get the exact same result we got in the quarterfinal. A 2-2 draw on the road. And now for the second leg of this playoff matchup. We're back home, rolling with the exact same team. Let's see if we can get a similar result to the one we got against Seattle. And that's a good start. Justin Kluivert gets us on the board. They pick up an injury to Silva. That's not good for them, but we're doing well. I'd really like to get the second one as well, boys. Let's just cruise in this one. Or not. Savarino scores, and it's 1-1. We're still okay, though. If this result holds, we are fine. That's even better. Dos Santos gets the penalty. And Krill, okay, now we're in a lot of trouble. Now we're going to extra time. Oh, boys. Please. Oh, don't go to pens. Somebody score. I beg. No. Whoo! 4-3 on penalties. Oh, wow. Wow, there's nothing easy with this team, is there? They just could not seem to put RSL away. And so we move on to the MLS Cup final, where we'll be playing the Supporter Shield winning New York Red Bulls. I know, shocker, right? I'm actually a little surprised they got there. They don't usually do too well in the playoffs, but here they are, nonetheless. And I said if we were to get to a final, I would play it just to kind of see how the team is doing. I haven't played a game with this team yet, so I'm interested to see how they play as well. I'm also a little bit nervous, given the fact that I've been going for 3 hours and I haven't played a game. I'm hoping I'm not rusty and I screwed this team over, but we'll see how they do. I'm going to go with the same exact lineup. Let's see if we can bring home this trophy. All right, here we go. Kickoff in the MLS Cup final, and you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit happy that I ended up keeping Zlatan in the team so I can at least get to use him one time, because it's not very often you get to use Zlatan in career mode. Go. Dos Santos. Skelvik overlapping. Up the wing for Kamara. Kamara plays that in for Alessandrini. Alessandrini has the 4-star skills. Does so nicely. And there is Zlatan in the middle. Beautifully worked. Yo, this team, attacking-wise, we're 12 minutes into this thing. They've melted the New York Red Bulls back line. We've gotten through their defense a number of times. Just haven't gotten that final pass to work. That time it worked nicely. And Zlatan is not going to miss from inside the 6-yard box. I don't care who you put in front of him. It is 1-0 just like that. And that was very, very easy. Back out here for Kaku. Inside for Mule. Up for Lade. They're working the ball very well. Please, boys. Woo! Wayne Taylor. Good save, my boy. Uh-oh. Oh, BWP! Oh, my God, yo. New York Red Bulls have absolutely dominated the game ever since we scored that goal. We hammered them for the first 12 to 15 minutes. All New York after that. I can't even get the ball up the field anymore. And similarly, BWP's not going to miss from there either. That's just too easy. Too clear of a chance for him. And it's all knotted up at 1 shortly before halftime. Back inside for Dos Santos. Kitchen. Now we're moving the ball nicely. We have Zlatan in there. Oh, Zlatan, what a move! And Zlatan scores! Robles got a hand to it, but Zlatan just too good inside the 18-yard box. He has declined this year. He's gone from 85 to, I think, 83 now. But in the 18-yard box, he's still freaking Zlatan, and he's almost impossible to stop. Simple little fake shot to drag it back to his left. Finishes into the top corner. Man, I do like me some Zlatan. Alright, corner for New York. We got to get into the half here. It's almost halftime. That was the worst marking on a corner that I have ever seen. We just left Royer by himself, and that was, to be fair, very nice finish on the full volley. But just too open. Come on, guys. And it's 2-2. We're still not to halftime. Come on, here comes Dubois up the side. I haven't come forward with Dubois yet, but he's making a nice run here. Plays that back outside, and now here comes Zlatan through. Here comes Zlatan again, and Zlatan for the hat trick. Wow, I should really get the ball to Dubois more. He is a very good attacking fullback, and just instantly sprung us on a counter there. It looked like New York was caught going the wrong direction. Kluivert, just one pass up to Zlatan, and there's just no stopping that man in the attacking third. All right, Perry Kitchen spraying it for Skjelvik. Skjelvik up there for Ola. Here we go again. Ola Kamara looking for a cross. Oh my god, that gets all the way through. Dos Santos laying it for Zlatan, looking for a shot. Off the post. It was deflected. It almost went in. Zlatan almost had a fourth. Uh-oh. Counterattack, though, from New York. This is a little bit sketchy. Come on, boys. No one's even marking this dude out here. Don't let him get the cross away. They gave a penalty. They did not just give a penalty for that. Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous. Dos Santos was just tracking the ball in the air. And was that Royer just ran into him and he gave the penalty? That's insane. That wasn't even... Royer wasn't even going to make a play on the ball. The ball was going straight to my goalkeeper. I cannot believe they just gave that penalty. But Wayne Taylor does not care and stops the BWP penalty. Oh, we're not out of danger yet, though. And Wayne Taylor's there again. That would have been so undeserved. Oh, no. We're getting too fancy in our own half. We're giving the ball away in bad spots here. Come on, boys. Track back on defense. Track back on defense! 5 minutes to play. We're still hanging on. Oh, my goodness. We actually blocked that last attempt. It's going to be a corner. We have to mark better here. We do. We get that away. Come on, boys. Can we get the takeaway here? And New York equalize. Murillo, who just came into the game as a substitute in the 87th minute, gets the equalizer. It is so hard to defend that. There's nobody marking anybody. I can't cover the whole thing by myself. That's just unfortunate. Alright, well, we're back to level terms yet again, and we don't have our goal scorer in there. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but Leggett, straight from kickoff, coming through. Leggett has a shot. What? Well, okay. I don't even feel good about that. I don't know what happened. New York switched off. I don't really understand what happened there. Honestly. Okay, well, I should be, like, ecstatic that we have the lead back, like, less than a minute after they scored, but that felt very cheap. Come on, boys. Oh, no, 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 BWP. Oh my god. They almost scored again. This is getting out of hand. Can nobody play defense in this match? Who was that? I think that was Skjelvik that ended up blocking that out for another corner. All right, the keeper is up. It's all hands on deck now. Come on, boys. Get this thing out. Get it out. Oh, it's to Wayne Taylor. And we're just going to hold on to that ball for now. Holy crap. I think we're going to be able to hold on to this thing. There is the final whistle. Okay. Sure. Why not? 4-3 is the final score in the MLS Cup final. Sebastian Leggett who is leaving after the season, wanted to be transfer listed. I went ahead and did it, and I sold him to Stuttgart right before this match. Is the hero, and we have the title in season 1, which I really didn't expect to happen. But okay, that whole game just was baffling, back and forth, and then the winner was just, sure, why the hell not? So I'm going to go ahead and end this first episode right after, the day after that MLS Cup final. That way, if you guys have any suggestions for players you think I should try to go after for this MLS Galacticos team, I have enough time to scout them up and see if it's going to be feasible to go after those players or not. Our transfer budget next season will probably be around the same $30 million or so that we had this year. And remember, we're also getting Diego Reyes into the team, so that's one of the center back positions already taken care of. So what we have left is possibly goalkeeper, if you want to see Wayne Taylor gone, a center back, either left back or right back, because Dubois can play both sides, so we have either one of those options available to us. The entire midfield, striker, and one of the winger positions. Kluivert can play both sides as well, and he played a 9.4 on the right wing for us in that MLS Cup final, so I don't think it matters which side he's on. So that is all the positions we have left to fill. It's going well. We got some really good players in season 1. Can't wait to see what we get for season number 2. So that's going to do it for this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you when we come back for some more MLS Galacticos. See ya.